So thank you all for rejoining me. I'm gonna have to play the Village People a little quieter now, which is awful for me because it doesn't mask the silence. So fuck it. Taylor was about to call in. Taylor, call back in, buddy. I'm gonna keep the volume down a little bit so that I don't get copyright infringement. We are now about to go live with Taylor Whipple.
We could tell a story about the fact that I tried to play some.
Taylor, you gotta come quick. This audience is ruthless.
Dude, those guys don't play games. I feel like I'm on Seinfeld.
Why?
I've been on a big Seinfeld kick lately.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's all on Hulu.
It reminds me so much of you. I feel like you are the George Costanza of our group.
Well, that's not really a compliment. It's probably not meant to be.
Compliment, but you're a good character.
Oh, thank you.
So that is a big compliment. I mean, not everybody has a nice tie like that and a shirt with a cactus.
Thank you so much.
The way that the cactus pops off of the black, whatever that thing you're wearing, it's a vest.
It is a vest.
How many layers are you wearing right now, DG?
I got a beater. I got a collared shirt. I got a vest, and I got a tie. I don't know if a tie counts as a layer. If you'll notice, I've got a cactus-shaped margarita glass.
What is it? Did you have a cactus epiphany?
Taylor, do you have a story?
Everything that I say is a story. So, yes.
Well, I'm putting a timer on this conversation.
You better put a fucking timer on it because I'm about to call in 3 more times.
I made a mistake. Well, Taylor, your 2 minutes has started. I made a mistake by not stipulating.
You haven't even complimented my peanut butter blonde hair yet.
Wow, I didn't realize that peanut butter blonde is the description for that hair. But now that I do, what a creamy finish.
Thank you so much.
What prompted this?
I just wanted to do something different.
I hear you. I had a mustache for a little bit because I was feeling the same way, but then I got too self-conscious to keep it.
Look at that.
Wow. You're really setting them apart from the pack. Taylor, did you just want $2 and that's why you called in?
I don't want any of your money. I still haven't even. I want to donate the $2 back to the Dan Ron Gilbert's Foundation.
So we'll push that $2 forward to the next caller in.
Exactly.
So the next caller gets $2 from the graciousness of Taylor Whipple.
I'm here for you.
Thank you so much, Taylor. And I'll be honest with you, that's time. A goddamn fanny pack that's got a koozie built into it. And you can win this stupid thing. It's not stupid, it's amazing. I wish Miller Lite would sponsor it. Go to the Long Story Short Live Instagram account, like that picture, tag whoever the hell you want in it. Once that account gets 200 people, I'll choose a winner for it. We'll move the show over there. Hit them with the... Hello!
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
I'm Kyle. It's good to be here. Yeah.
Kyle, hello. This is your first time calling in.
Yep.
Very nice. And you have a 2-minute story.
Okay, all right. So my cat died the other week. Had to put it down. Had to bring it to the vet and all that stuff. And I don't normally cry, but I cried like a bitch. I cried like tons. So I wanted to tell the story the first time that it got brought home. So we adopted 2 cats, and they were like codependent. Like they had to be adopted together. Was essentially the story. And so when they first got brought home, they kind of like took a shine to a specific room that we called the cat room. And what I used to do, because they like hid under a dresser, they wouldn't come out, nobody would see them and stuff. So what I would do is I'd go in there and I'd read a book and I'd lay down on the floor next to the dresser and I'd put my hand out and I'd just read for hours with my hand out. And the first contact, this cat reached out his paw and put it on my hand. That was the first time, and that was a good moment. And then from then, they kind of like creeped out and they hung out and stuff. And at this point, now that he's passed on, there's the other cat that was codependent. Every night I sit in there for about an hour and I read a book to keep it company so that she's not lonely and stuff. So I just wanted to share the story of how my scared cats stopped being so scared.
Man, very nice. So I'm going to stop the clock. So that's just a heartwarming way to start the show. You had a cat. Actually, my girlfriend and I's cat did the same damn thing. They love hiding under dressers.
Yep. It's cat thing to do. Yeah.
And then it just perched its little cute paw under your hand and let you know you're not alone.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Then talked him out of it, out of the dresser or whatever. Yeah.
The Fran dresser. Man, that is amazing. That's so nice. Last time the first call was about a guy dying. So this is a much lighthearted, better way to start the show almost.
Yeah. I mean, well, a cat died, so there's that. But
Well, a cat did die, but we shared in its memories, and that cat was part of America. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, and we also memorialize that cat.
yes.
Perfect, Kyle. Thank you so much, my friend. You are the cat. I'm just going to write cat. I don't know what else to put.
Hey, cool. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Kyle. Last week it was a guy dying to start off the show. This time it's a cat extending an olive branch, becoming a friend. I got 2 cats, y'all, and a third if you count the margarita glass. Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, you have to call in. You cannot not call in. You have to call in. At least just talk. Give him something. Don't just make him be this guy. We're all here for the camaraderie and the fun stuff.
Taylor, thank you so much.
We're here for the support.
You're a cheerleader for the show, and I appreciate it so much.
It's
it
the
is
same
always
thing that we would be doing if we were hanging out at
Sweet Fire.
Yep. We're talking about the time that we crashed the old car, the old Spirit, into the fucking snowbank, and your old man had to come out and say that he barely kept it on the road. What are you guys doing out here? Oh, nothing to see, Mike Gilbert. We're just
on icy back roads during a school delay.
We're doing a random cruise on Iron Horse Road after a snowstorm, and we slid the old Spirit into the snowbank. He said to himself, I could barely keep it on the road. And he had a nice Dodge Ram pickup.
He did, all wheel.
You better believe that they got that Mopar Spirit.
Yes, Taylor, everything you've said I agree with so much. Call into the show, people. Be more like Taylor. He even donated the $2 off.
Donating that to the fund of the show. So Dan,
and that's why you're the man of the hour, Taylor.
That way Dan can get more accoutrement, like they call it cactus accoutrement.
I would love to buy more cactuses, and so would Lydia.
No,
she's actually got a huge
like I said it.
Accoutrement.
Yeah, cactus accoutrement.
Beautiful girlfriend Lydia, and then to Sydney, and then to Beth Stone. Hello, Lydia.
Hello.
You said you weren't calling in.
I thought of a story. It just popped into my brain. Also,
very nice.
I want to say that cat story was really sweet. It really warmed my heart.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I've met Kyle before, but I want to know him the rest of my life now.
I mean, we have a cat. Well, she's
nice.
Being weird. Okay, so I'm ready for my story.
Your 2 minutes starts right now.
Okay, so when I was in high school, I had me and my 2 friends. It was summer, so we were trying to figure out what to do for the day, and we were at my friend's house, and her brother comes in and is telling us about how he went kayaking down this river, and it was so much fun, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, oh, let's go do that. So we go to this river. I don't even remember what river it was at this point, but we go to this river, and everything seems great, and then, about an hour in, we starts getting really rocky, and so we're just like, oh, well, this kind of sucks, but whatever, we'll just keep going, and it gets even rockier and rockier, and then all of a sudden it starts to get, like changing in levels, so there's, little mini waterfalls everywhere, and we're like, oh God, we're about to go whitewater rafting. So I somehow get ahead of the 2 by a little ways. So they're pretty far back, and I'm going, and I see up ahead this little dip in the river, and I'm like, oh no, that looks kind of not, it wasn't a big waterfall, but it was definitely a whoop, and I was like, oh no. And right next to that, on the bank of the river, there was these 2 guys. They're standing there, and they're fishing. And I'm like, okay, this is a weird situation. So I go down the little waterfall, I flip my kayak, and do you know when you go under the water and the ocean, you feel like you're drowning and your life flashes before your eyes?
Yes.
That's what was happening. So I was stuck under the water in my kayak, freaking out, Those two guys are not helping me. So I am drowning in front of them, and they're just watching the entire thing. So I finally get out of the water. I'm standing, like, at the base of this waterfall, just like, oh my God. And those two guys have not flinched. They haven't moved. They watched the entire thing. They just, like, watched me and then just turned back to fishing. And I was just like, what? So confused. So basically my story is that I almost drowned, and there were two witnesses that didn't do anything.
You told it in exactly 2 minutes, which is paramount to this show. So I thank you so much. So what did the other girl do that was with you? Did she go over the...
There were two other ones. They somehow made it down fine. It wasn't like a huge waterfall, but they just like went down and it was all fine. And I didn't have such luck, I suppose.
Why didn't they help you?
They were so far back. They weren't with me.
They didn't go over the waterfall?
They were just far behind. They did, but they just like, they finessed it better than I did, apparently.
So you had 4 people in the general vicinity that did no such help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I lost everything in that kayak except for my phone. In my like last moment above water, I was like, and grabbed for my phone because I have priorities. Yeah.
Did they even say, once you actually saw the guys after, did they even say anything? Like,
No.
oh, are you all right? Or like,
They
what's
didn't
going
say.
on?
I was like in shock, not even from almost drowning, but from the fact that they didn't even try to help because they were just looking at me, and I was like, "Is this not weird for you too?" Because I'm uncomfortable.
Real scumbags.
Yeah, it was Newport, so no offense.
That explains it all.
Yeah.
Lydia, I love you with all of my heart, and thank you so much for contributing to this show. It was turning into a train wreck.
I had to save you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Long Story Short.
We go, yeah. Well, I was just thinking, I was watching your show, and I was, thinking about the Memorial Day plug and like what people do, because I got shit tons of stories. But
My God.
what I did was, so I live on 100 acres, and like in my previous life 4 years ago, one of the things that I loved to do the most was cover my body in coffee grounds from that morning and like rub them in, exfoliate, but you need like a private place to do that, right? And so now I have that. So today, that's what I did. I got down in the garden and cracked a beer and went and collected the coffee grounds and took a dip in my pool and then rubbed them all over my body and exfoliated and let them all dry and let it like detox. And then the black flies attacked me. I would think that it would be the opposite, but they came after me fucking hard. And then I took a shower in the hose water that had been warmed in the sun all day. So I took an awesome outdoor shower and then air dried and put on coconut oil. And I feel fucking amazing. And so I urge all your listeners, if you have a backyard where you can do this sort of thing, to do it, because it really makes you feel good. So it's not really a story, it's just an account of my day and how good I feel right now.
Very nice. So it's an exfoliating tip is what it is.
It exfoliates, it detoxifies, and like the coffee bean oil, gets left in the skin, so it also moisturizes.
So you jumped in a pool with coffee grounds on you.
No, you get in the pool first to get your body wet so that you can like get the coffee grounds to like, mix into your body better. The coffee grounds don't go in the pool. I'm like really strict with my pool regulations. So you get in there and get wet. I got like a foot bath and a little towel out front,
How do you have 100 acres to live on? Where is that coming from?
I lucked out and ended up renting the place that I fantasized living in growing up. Like it's
Oh,
on the
wow.
road to burn cruise on growing up, and I'd be like, man, I would love to live there. And then fucking sure as shit came on the market, and now I live here.
Very
Yeah.
nice. So,
Yeah.
well, I was going to write you down as Giant Cold Brew because I thought you jumped in a pool with coffee grounds, essentially ruining a swimming pool. And unfortunately, I couldn't make that joke because
I never
that's
do
not the
that.
case. But you're going down as exfoliating tips, has a lot of land.
Yeah.
Sydney, hello. You've had the most trouble of anyone calling into this show.
It says that I'm live though. I gotta go outside where it's quiet. What's up, Dan?
What's up, Sydney?
I know because I was told to get out and come back in, and that kicked my spot out.
Well, yeah, once you have it locked in, I can see it. But yeah, anyways, you got a story. Let's start that 2 minutes and get to it.
All right, it's a really quick story.
Nice.
So when I was younger, like 5 or 6 years old, I didn't have too many friends, so I really wanted a fucking cat. I didn't know that my mom was allergic to cats. So I was like, why can't I have a cat? Why won't any of these people let me have a fucking cat? So I created this sign outside my house that said Cat Hotel. And I'm not even kidding you. My siblings can confirm this. Cats fucking showed up. At least like 2. And then this one like really mangy cat got into my basement. Like half of its face was bald. And it was sitting on like the stairs. This was before my parents finished off their basement. It was straight mange. And
So people didn't bring these, they didn't bring the cats, cats just showed up?
no, they really just fucking showed up. They knew. They knew. Like I said, my siblings can confirm this fucking story.
No, listen, I believe you. You're not Cash just making up bullshit. But so how did the cat get into your house? Did you put out Cat Hotel and then you just opened every door and said fuck it?
The teeny tiny door that goes to the basement.
Yeah.
Sometimes that gets left open. I mean, it doesn't anymore because I sleep down there, so I make sure it doesn't. But it used to get left open, and that cat just like snuck down there, went up our stairs, and my parents opened the stair door one day, and it was just like sitting on there with a half-shaved head, like super fucking mange cat. So I had to take the sign down.
That's wild. And then they stopped coming as soon as, or you should have just put a no vacancy sign actually underneath the Cat Hotel.
Evicted. An eviction notice.
Did cats continue to come once you pulled the sign down?
Not that I remember.
Wow. So it's actually literate cats roaming.
I mean,
I almost said the name of your
just
street.
wanted a fucking cat all through my childhood. Turns out I'm actually also allergic to cats.
Goddamn.
Along with Alex and my mom.
So you dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Turns out cats suck and I'll just stick to dogs.
Man, so Sydney, you're going down as Cat Hotel, but just for now, I want to reiterate the first story was about a guy just having a heartfelt moment with a cat. Lydia almost died, which brings it back down. Brooke called in with an exfoliation tip, and you've called in with a Cat Hotel story. This show has gone Disney Channel at this point. A guy died last week. We've had nothing but poop conversations. Sydney.
What better than Disney, though?
Yes, exactly. Maybe now I can get syndicated.
Aristocats.
Oh.
I knew that Lydia would appreciate the story because she loves cats.
I'm also writing down Aristocat reference because that was solid.
Yeah.
Sydney, thank you so much. I appreciate the call.
You're welcome.
Goodbye. I forgot who the hell I. Duke!
What up?
Hello! How are you, my
First,
friend?
first time listener, first time caller. Thanks for
Very
having me.
nice. Yes, I wouldn't have it any other way.
The show is fantastic. I don't care about anything but that first guy that you talked to. He should win because he deserves a dinner because of his loss, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to wait and hear out the rest of the stories in case we get a real humdinger. But that was a heartfelt one. And also, I implore you to not judge the show based on this episode because so far, I don't know what
Well,
the
it's
fuck's
very
happening.
wholesome, and so I tried to think of a story that would fit this the evening. So are we ready to start?
Let's start that 2 minutes right now.
All right. So, when I was about 16 years old, me and my brother were hitchhiking from Claremont down to New Orleans. We got picked up by this guy in Tennessee who was kind of like low-key mumbling about how he had killed his family. And so we started getting nervous, obviously. You know, me being 16, he was 18, didn't really know what to do in this situation. It was my first time in that situation. And so we're riding with him, and I don't know, for probably about like 40, 50 miles, he just keeps talking kind of under his breath about how he had to kill them and it was the right thing. And we didn't know if he was doing it to mess with us or whatever. But so he drops us off, and we're at this like gas station, and that's like, you know, it's just fields in every direction. There's a gas station and a hotel and then just miles of highway. And so we're like, you know, maybe we should call the cops and like let them know that this guy might have killed his family. And so they came and they took our statement and they were like, yeah, he was probably just messing with you guys, but why don't we put you up in a hotel for the night? And so they put us in a hotel, and the cop gave us like $10 and bought us Debbie snacks and shit. So that was pretty cool.
Well, I'll stop the timer there. I submit that a guy that does that just to mess with you is also insane.
I mean, I could see the humor in it. Like nowadays, like if I picked up a hitchhiker, that would be kind of fun to do.
To instill that fear into somebody, I feel like is almost on par with actually doing it because that I don't know, man. I feel like if you would have kept going, he would have admitted to things he actually did do, and you would have wished that you had called the cops sooner.
Oh, no, so here's the thing is that, like, what he was saying under his breath, like, I mean, this is, you know, probably like 20-something years ago, but I remember in the moment, like, fear gripping us and just being like, this is a fucked up situation that we should not be in right now. And being very thankful that, like, he dropped us off, and he continued going in the direction that we were headed. So we thought that was weird too, that he dropped us off before he was like getting off of that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's the under the breath that makes me uneasy. My first concert was a Fish concert, and we were all like everybody's fucked up. We're outside the hotel, and this guy was just sitting on his own, older guy, like 40, and we're like 22 at the time, and he's just like, oh yeah, if you guys want to go this way, we'll smoke a joint. And nobody but me hears him be like, fucking just got out of the joint. Fucking assholes deserved everything they got in there. I don't give a fuck. I'll go back. I'm the only one that heard him say that, and everybody's following him to go smoke a joint, and I'm having to tap people's backs and being like, no, we're getting the fuck out of here. This guy's saying that he'll go back to jail. Under the breath makes me uneasy.
Yeah, it's discomforting for sure.
And you're hitchhiking at 16. You're ballsier as a teenager than I am at 30.
Yeah, well, I was living in Claremont, and that wasn't going to cut it for me.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
So Duke, hitchhiking at 16, maybe almost murdered.
One of many.
Maybe almost. Perfect. I expect you to keep calling in then, my friend. Jen, hello.
Hi.
I left you on red there for a minute. I apologize.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering what was happening, but I was just gonna wait.
For some reason, if you see that somebody is calling in with multiples, it doesn't keep that notification.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yes. Nothing that anyone needs to know but me. But what you need to know is that your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, so this is like a super embarrassing story, but it's kind of funny, I guess. So
Very
it's a
nice.
good one. All right, so I was probably like 8 or 9 years old, and I was playing hide and seek with like my little sister and my grandma, and it was my turn to hide, and I ran into the bathroom, which was like right down the hall from like where they were counting, and they had the little trifold closets. So I was gonna hide in there and like crouch down and just like close the door. But once I got in there, I realized that I was not going to fit. So they were like starting to come down the hallway. So I was like, fuck. So I went into the shower and they had like the frosted glass doors. So I just closed the door, hid in there, and like waited it out. And my little sister did come in looking in the closet of the bathroom, but didn't look in the shower. So I was waiting in there, and I must have been in there for probably like 15 or 20 minutes because I thought they were still looking for me. And someone came in the bathroom, so I was like, oh, they're like finally gonna find me. And I hear like it's my grandpa, and he like clears his throat, and I'm kind of like, oh no, he's like gonna go to the bathroom, like. But I'm like, whatever, I'll just wait until he leaves, and then I'll leave the bathroom. So like I hear him like go pee or whatever, and I'm thinking he's gonna leave, and he doesn't, and I'm kind of just like, what the hell, like what's happening? So like a couple minutes go by, and then he opens the door, and I'm like looking at him dead in the eye, and we make this super awkward eye contact because I realize he's like about to shower in the middle of the day. So he is probably more embarrassed than I was because he slammed the door and grabbed a towel as fast as possible and then screamed at me to get out, which I did. And I ran into the kitchen, and my grandmother and sister were playing Go Fish at the kitchen table, and they were like, what happened? So yeah, that was probably like one of the most embarrassing things in my life. Oh, and I have to add that my grandpa to this day like still checks the shower because he's that paranoid that someone will be in there still.
So he was full dick out when you saw him.
Yeah, but I will say I did like not see his dick because I was like making awkward eye contact with him. So, and he did slam the shower door really fast. Like, I think he was probably more traumatized by this than I was because I was more just like shocked that this even happened.
Yeah, I think everybody has a memory. What a fitting show for Memorial Day. I think everybody has a memory of seeing their parents naked, but their grandparents takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And that is awful. I also love that he screamed, "Get out," as if you both weren't thinking that anyways.
Yeah, he was, I'm not even kidding, like traumatized. Like he was, I think he wanted to cry probably.
Oh, if I saw a grandfather cry, I'd quit.
Either I'm just like, what are you doing? But also he was like, why were you in there? He was so angry afterwards. He like, lectured me about like how wrong it was to be in the shower at that. I was just like, we're playing hide and seek. Like it's not my fault they stopped looking for me.
I mean, that's just
really sad.
Yeah, I feel like that's a sign of old people is they just get angry about what they don't understand. You're a little kid playing hide and seek, but to him you were just waiting specifically to see him naked and embarrass him. And he served in Vietnam and he doesn't deserve that. Or maybe I'm putting my own twist on it.
No, he did not, but it is what it is.
Very nice. Well, Jen, you are going down as Grandpa Peeker.
That's a good one.
I don't know if it is because you didn't laugh, and neither did I as I said it. But Jen, thank you so much. I appreciate your call as always.
No problem. Bye.
Goodbye. Going back to the leaderboard. And we've got Grandpa Peeker, Grandpa. What is it called? What is it called when you spy on someone? A peeping Tom.
Peeping Tom.
But I said peeper, and it wasn't funny.
I laughed.
What's up, Dylan?
Hanging out.
Wait, hold on. Let me give you... That's unfair on my part. Everybody's excited. It's Dylan Marsh. I really just bummed myself out.
So I saw that you made a page for the show.
I did make a page. Long Story Short Live on Instagram, which is... I'm hoping to eventually move the show to that page.
And you're giving up that you're going to quit. And you're going to get a new host.
No. No, 100% no. I'm riding this show until the very end.
Well, sometimes it's better to give up on stuff, before it sinks. The new show with the new host, we're gonna love that.
Dylan, I don't know how to explain this, but this is piggybacking on the rumors I've been hearing. There will be no new host, specifically not you. I will have Taylor host this show before I give over the reins to you.
I think Taylor would make a great co-host for someone else. Do you want to? I got a story. I just in for my story. We don't need to talk about the show.
2 minutes starts now.
All right. So I'm at my sister's wedding. I'm very Italian, so we do big weddings. There's a famous singer there. Wait, I thought you were shushing.
No, is it Rob Bass?
No. So my dad, Don, cannot say no to anybody, it being my sister's wedding. I'll just cut to the chase. I end up shooting two guys in a restaurant, duct taped the gun to the back of a toilet. I come out, I shoot them, take off to Sicily, where I'm at now. Hell of a story.
Oh, that's all right. Well, you've got 1 minute and 9 seconds left, but I mean, how else do you fill a story than murder?
Yeah, I'm not wasting any time with that.
Dylan, I'll be honest with you. You might be the worst assassin ever. You're not. I mean, granted, only 17 people are watching this, but you should admit to it.
I'm gone. I left.
This sounds eerily like a movie plot that I've seen.
Well, you'd be wrong, Dan.
You know, funny story. My friends and I actually owned a string of casinos where people tried to count cards and do us wrong.
The Dan Tells Story Hour. Nobody's here for that.
You know what? You're right. This story had to do with me, and that's not right. But Dylan, I will once again tell you, because it seems like you're trying to build some kind of mutiny against me on my own show.
Read the comment section one time, Dan. Give the
This is my show. You will not take over this show. You will not moderate the new page. And as far as I'm concerned, our friendship is iffy.
Don't forget to check that new page.
We pause that. We let the crowd know that it's time for Alex Ferris.
Hey.
Shalom.
Hey, I don't have a story, but you want to see a firework?
Yeah, I do actually.
I got a lighter in my pocket. Price is
Nice. This is going to be the first live firework on the show.
Memorial Day. I don't think you're supposed to say Happy Memorial Day because it's not a happy day, but we light off fireworks because it's America.
Well, I guess we're happy for their service. Oh, Al, please don't lose service. Memorial Day.
That was for America.
This whole show is for America, Al, and that's a hell of a contribution. I'm even going to keep it down as a story. Al, firework. But you're a real firecracker, if you ask me.
Have a good night, everybody.
Pain Jane, who promised noise. Let's find out together what in the hell that means. It's back to Beth. Hello.
Hello. So I got a story from back when I was a young doe 20 years ago. Had recently gotten my license and was in charge of helping my friend move a nitrous tank from one location to another. And we were on the back roads, and he thought it would be a great idea to fill up a couple balloons. And I was like, okay. I'd done some balloons at shows, whatnot. Like, that'll be fine. I can handle that. And ended up, that's the balloon that, like, made me never do nitrous again. And I was doing, like, 20 miles an hour. Turn came up, and all I hear is, Bethany, 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 and go off the road and down over, it was like a big hill, flip 2.5 times into these people's garden, and it's like nighttime, and I just destroyed their garden. It's like middle of summer. Roll my car into their garden, my Birkenstocks fly off. All my windows bust out. I've got broken glass in my feet. He's all cut up because the tank had like come and hit him underneath like the arm. And so we're like, oh my God, what do we do? And so he goes and hides the tank. And then we run up to the road and start trying to hitch a ride. Someone driving by can help us out. And people don't stop. Like, we look like freaks, we're like all bloody and like walking up from the road. And finally, this like, they were probably like 50 years old, something, and like these cool scientists brought us back to their house. And it was before cell phones, And so we use their landline and call our buddy and get brought back to our home base. And then I call the police. And the police come, and I ride back out to the accident with the officer, and let them know everything that happened. Told them that I was switching the radio station because I was only doing like 20 miles an hour,
Yeah.
I was just switching the radio station, and I went off the road, and they were like, crazy. And so we're going through all this shit. Like, I just fucked up these people's gardens. And I still don't even know. Like, I still travel the road to this day. Like, where was it that I totaled my car? And I still can't find it. But the officer comes up to me, and he's got a whole dustpan of shit that he's, taken from the accident. And it's a whole shit ton of balloons. And then on top is this little tiny miniature Holy Bible. He's like, do you want any of this stuff? And I'm like, I mean, I grew up in church. I spent a lot of time in church. I have, like, got all kinds of views, but I was like, I will take that little Bible. And that was it. Nothing. I wrote a thank you note to the people who picked us up, to the Good Samaritans. But that shit couldn't happen now,
No, not at all. And that was exactly 2 minutes. The thing that I'm baffled about is that you had this story holstered and instead gave an exfoliation tip.
I've got so many stories. I know. I'll get into it. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I think you're the first person to call in with 2 stories, arguably 1 story, which you just told, and that is a wild one. You crashed a car doing nitrous oxide in a balloon going 20 miles an hour and convinced the police that you were switching from 97.1 to Q106.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice. That's a front runner as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, don't do nitrous. That's like all the kids I see nowadays doing nitrous. I'm like, stop. Don't do it.
I actually got called, I was tripping the first time, again, that I saw fish in that same hotel, and I went into the lobby, and these guys were doing nitrous, and I was tripping, and I'd never seen nitrous before, so I was like, and the guy was like, "What's up, Urkel?" No, I thought I'd get a laugh. It made me feel like shit. And
right. It's not a compliment.
No, not at all. He was making fun of me. As an 18-year-old, I was scared.
Was that the same story of the night when the guy wanted to bring you out and smoke a joint? I knew
Yeah.
you were tripping. Yeah. Because totally, yeah, you pick up on those vibes.
So Kyle called in, getting a new cat. It passed away, but he shared a memory of it showing affection to him. Amazing way to start off the show. Memorial Day. Lydia, my girlfriend, that I ask once again, come in, and is right behind me, almost drowned, and nobody helped her out. Beth called in. I'm not even going to count the first story. She exfoliated with coffee beans, but she actually crashed a car high on nitrous and destroyed a neighbor's flower garden, which I love that type of story. Sydney called in with a cat hotel, ended up getting a mangy-ass cat in her house, and everyone else pissed. Duke, hitchhiking at 16. Guy muttered under his breath that he killed his family. May or may not be true. We'll never know. Still weird. Jen called in, saw her grandfather naked, swears she didn't see his penis. Dylan called in, had nothing to say. Or actually, no, he did. He just lied the whole time, so that's disqualified. Al called in with a firework. I love that. It is Memorial Day. And then...
I can't focus with the village people playing.
Welcome to my life. I don't want to... A woman saw her grandfather's penis. How is that lighthearted? She claims she didn't see it, which is kind of a diss to him, quite honestly. If someone saw me naked and claimed they didn't see my penis, I'd be upset.
I think it's between Duke and Jen.
Oh.
I think.
Alright, fuck it. Duke, you won tonight. Kyle, I love you so much. You started the show off with a very nice gesture. It's about cats loving people, and that's a fond memory. And next week is Memorial Day, but Duke did have a fucking crazy person say that they killed their family when maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Hills have eyes.
I think there's more to that story. And the cops check in on it.
Donate my winnings to Kyle. Wow.
Well, there you go.
That is the type of person that Duke is. The amazing man that he is. So that means that, Kyle, you win a $25 gift card. I realize it's backwards, so listen to my words. $25 gift card to Fireside Beverage over in Ascutney, Vermont. Zach watches the show. Message me with your full name and your information. I'll shoot it over to him. And you refuse. All right, we can't ping pong the prize that much. It makes it seem worthless. Kyle, you're taking the goddamn gift card. And that's the end of the show.